Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today we're going to have a quick conversation about Kubota insurance for the Canadian market. We'll talk about some of the pros and cons of it and have a little bit of discussion on the end about what our dealership thinks of it. So let's dive right into it and start with the pros. So the thing to know about the Kubota insurance is it's fantastic. It's a very simplistic system. Again, on the dealer end, it's very easy. You know, if a customer calls up and says, you know, I rolled my tractor, basically there's just a number to call. They call that. The adjuster comes here to the dealership. All the work's done. It's quick, simple, easy peasy. There's really no complaining about that. Some of the examples we've had here, you know, we've had everything from windstorms where a couple of units have come in, you know, with wind damage. One of the more scary ones we've had is, you know, a gentleman fell a tree on his tractor with him pretty well on it. So it could have easily have killed him, and it pretty well rode off the tractor, but you know, the claim was quick and simple on that. You know, we've had RTV rollovers, you know, very easy to happen. And also on top of that, and it doesn't matter the unit, is we've had obviously water damage, you know, where somebody's gone into water deeper than they ever imagined. So it's caused quite a few issues. And the more specific one on that is with the water damages, you don't see it right away. You know, as it comes in, you know what's happened to it. Usually it's engine work, you kind of fix that. Then it goes back to the customer, and usually 6 months later you'll see some rust or electrical issues where it has to come back, you know, and a second claim is open under the insurance. And again, no real issues to speak of. So yeah, so lots of pros there. Some accidents that you'd like to avoid, but that's where this kind of steps up. Some of the cons for the Canadian market that you're going to deal with is it's not available in Quebec. Not a huge thing, but this dealership is located, you know, 15 minutes from the Quebec border. A lot of our customers are from Quebec, so you know, whenever they inquire about it, we're not able to offer it. So kind of a small drawback on that. One other thing is it is done whenever your contract is done. You're not going to get a letter from Kubota saying your insurance is done. So it's the thing to know is once you have your 0% for 60 months, once that runs out, is you no longer have coverage on it. You have to go to a separate party now to get insurance. It isn't available through Kubota either after the fact. You can't sign on for longer. If you do a cash deal, it's not available. It's just for financed tractors. It's just for financed equipment through Kubota. So be mindful of that. Again, we've seen a few issues with customers thinking that their insurance has stayed on, where it has not. So again, you're not going to get any letter from the company or from Kubota saying that. So be mindful of that. Again, in the Canadian market, it has switched companies 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years. Doesn't really pertain to the customer, but on the dealer background is, well, it's kind of hard sometimes to figure out what insurance company we have to contact for the customer or have the customer call, as you know, there's a few different numbers in the last couple of years. Pretty minor, but it hasn't actually changed anything on the coverage, just a kind of an inconvenience more than anything, but it is something to know. One big thing to know, and it is one of the flaws we see as a dealership, is we're not insurance salesmen. We are Kubota sales, you know, so whenever you're dealing with insurance, is we can't actually answer any questions. You know, once it's outside of what's in the brochure, we're not legally allowed to answer those questions. You know, we hand you a brochure, say this is what's available, and a 1-800 number if you have any other questions. You know, some dealers, including ourselves, try and give you kind of a broad overview of it, but once you get into the nitty-gritty, what is and isn't covered is you have to call them direct, as a dealer won't be able to answer those questions as well as they can. Again, it's great. You should always have a conversation with your insurance broker or coverage, whoever's covering your equipment. In this case, it'd be Kubota, so you kind of want to have a background with them as to what they are not going to cover. And so yeah, so that's some of the small flaws to the program. None of them are huge by any means, but it's something to know about it. After dealing with some of the pros and cons to it, some of the other spiels to talk about is one of the nice aspects that I enjoy about it is it covers you off property. So, you know, if you're taking your tractor down to your neighbor and stuff, it's going to cover you on that. Because again, we get asked a lot about that is, you know, if I'm going to, you know, down the road, going into town with it, is it going to be covered? And the answer to that is yes, because a lot of your other insurance coverages will not cover you off property. One of the other large benefits of it that I enjoy is if it's at a secondary, if your equipment is at a secondary residence, you know, your cottage, it's going to be covered, which is fantastic because, again, it gives you peace of mind whenever you're not there. And big thing is it covers it for theft. So, you know, if it disappears while you're not there, you know, you're fully covered that way. So, and again, it also is, you know, usually at a dealer you're going to hear a funny comment. It's kind of like a stupidity insurance. It covers everything. So whenever you're dealing with that, it's fantastic. You know, it really steps up whenever your warranty isn't applicable. You know, warranty is there to cover failures, not for dunking in the water. So it's really good to know that you're going to be covered whenever something does happen that way. That kind of has a quick conversation about the insurance and the pros and cons to it, and some of the benefits that I see at the dealership level. Again, dealing with hundreds of customers, we've never seen a complaint about it. You know, we're probably I don't even know how many claims we've had, but we've had a number of them, and they've all been very successful and easily done. So yeah, so if you have any questions, I can give you a brochure and they can answer it for you. But otherwise, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.